Picture this. You're at the airport, excited for your trip, boarding pass in hand, bags packed with all your essentials. But just as you're about to breeze through security, an officer pulls you aside. Suddenly, that everyday item you thought was harmless, a charger, a snack, even your favorite hair straightener, has just been flagged. Now you're holding up the line, confused, embarrassed, maybe even forced to toss it in the trash. This isn't a rare story anymore. Airlines and airports in 2025 are cracking down harder than ever on items we used to travel with every day. And while some bans sound surprising, they all share one goal: preventing in-flight fires and keeping everyone safe at 35,000 feet. In this guide, I'm going to walk you through 10 everyday items that are banned or heavily restricted right now. But more importantly, I'll share practical solutions and insider tips, so you don't just avoid mistakes, you actually learn how to pack smarter, travel lighter, and move through security with confidence. Let's start with the one that's making the biggest headlines. Item 1. Cordless hair tools. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's catching travelers completely off guard. Cordless hair tools, yes, your wireless straighteners, curling irons, and even some compact travel dryers, are no longer allowed in checked luggage. The reason? Two invisible hazards: butane cartridges and lithium batteries. At ground level, they feel safe, but at cruising altitude, pressure and heat can trigger what's called thermal runaway, a chain reaction that causes batteries or gas cartridges to overheat, smoke, and sometimes catch fire. Believe it or not, there have already been mid-air incidents, which is exactly why regulators stepped in. Here's the good news. You don't have to give up styling altogether. You can still bring cordless hair tools, but only in your carry-on, and only if they have a protective safety cover over the heating element. Spare butane cartridges? Completely banned, no exceptions. If you want zero hassle, stick with classic plug-in tools. And here's a pro tip. Invest in a dual-voltage straightener or dryer. Not only will it pass through TSA smoothly, but with the right adapter, it'll work perfectly whether you're in Paris, Tokyo, or New York. Item 2. Power banks and portable chargers. Now let's talk about something almost every single traveler carries: portable chargers and power banks. These pocket-sized lifesavers have become essential for long flights, airport delays, and international layovers. But they've also been causing serious problems. Take one recent Airbus incident. A power bank stored in an overhead bin overheated and burst into flames. The smoke injured 27 passengers before the crew could even reach it. After that, Southwest Airlines became the first U.S. carrier to ban power banks from overhead storage. They're still allowed on board, but now they must stay with you, at your seat where the crew can keep an eye on them. And here's the kicker. This isn't just Southwest. Emirates, Singapore Airlines, Thai Airways, they already have similar restrictions, and the industry trend is clear. More airlines will follow. So what should you do? Always keep your power bank in a small pouch under the seat in front of you. Check the watt-hour rating. It must be under 100 watt, clearly labeled, or it risks confiscation. And here's a smart hack. Print a small label with the capacity and stick it right on your device. That way, if a TSA agent or gate staff asks, you can prove compliance instantly, without holding up the line. Portable chargers aren't going away, but the rules around them are evolving fast. Stay one step ahead, and you'll never have to face the panic of losing your lifeline mid-journey. Item 3. Devices without clear battery labels. And speaking of power, there's another hidden trap that far fewer people are aware of, but it's quickly becoming one of the biggest reasons travelers get stopped. I'm talking about devices with lithium batteries that don't have proper labels. You see, lithium batteries are behind almost every fire risk in the sky. In fact, just last year, the FAA logged nearly 90 separate incidents involving devices overheating or catching fire mid-flight. That's a staggering increase compared to just a decade ago. The danger comes from something called thermal runaway. Once a battery starts overheating, it triggers a chain reaction that feeds on itself until the device smokes, flames, or even explodes. At 35,000 feet, that's the nightmare scenario crews are desperate to avoid. That's why the TSA is now cracking down on any device that doesn't clearly show what kind of battery it carries or its watt-hour capacity. And here's where many travelers stumble. Electric toothbrushes, wireless headphones, portable speakers, even smart luggage with built-in chargers often have tiny or hidden labels. If an agent can't quickly verify what kind of battery is inside, there's a real chance your device gets confiscated on the spot. So here's the skill to develop. Before you even zip up your suitcase, do what I like to call a battery audit. Line up every rechargeable device you plan to bring, flip it over, and make sure the label clearly shows lithium-ion or lithium polymer, along with the WH rating. If you can't find it, snap a photo of the manual or the manufacturer's website and keep it on your phone. That way, if a TSA agent raises an eyebrow, you can provide proof instantly. It takes 5 minutes at home, but it can save you from losing your gear at the airport. Item 4. Powders. Over 12 ounces. Now, once we've handled the electronic side of things, let's shift to something that seems completely unrelated but is just as likely to trip you up. Powders. Yes, powders. Protein mixes, greens supplements, powdered coffee creamer, even pancake mix. At first glance, these don't seem like a big deal, right? But here's the issue. On an X-ray, a big bag of white powder looks almost identical to something far more dangerous. That's why TSA has set a strict threshold. Any powdered substance over 12 ounces in your carry-on is subject to extra screening, chemical testing, and in many cases, confiscation if the agents can't verify what it is. And let me tell you, nothing slows down a security line faster than a bag inspection, followed by chemical swabs. The solution is surprisingly simple but requires a bit of planning. Instead of packing one giant tub of protein powder, divide it into smaller portions. Single-serve packets or small containers under 3 or 4 ounces each. Not only do they sail through security, but they're also far more convenient for travel. If you absolutely need a large supply, tuck it into your checked luggage where the size limits don't apply. And here's a little pro hack. Keep powders in their original packaging whenever possible. A sealed, labeled container of protein mix is far less suspicious than a generic plastic bag filled with white powder. The clearer your items look, the faster you move through security. Item 5. Homemade snacks in foil or opaque wraps. So once you've sorted out your powders, you might think food is the easy part. After all, TSA usually allows snacks, right? Well, here's where many travelers are getting caught off guard in this. Homemade food, especially when it's wrapped in foil or packed inside opaque containers, is suddenly raising red flags at security. The problem isn't the food itself, it's how it looks on an X-ray. Foil blocks visibility, and opaque containers create shadows that look suspicious. A foil-wrapped sandwich or a homemade granola bar might seem harmless to you, but on the scanner, it can look like an unidentified mass. Exactly the kind of thing security agents don't want to guess about. So what's the smarter move? Use clear, transparent containers or resealable plastic bags instead. If you still want to use foil for freshness, place it inside a clear bag so officers can see the outline. And if you're bringing something that's unusual or might look strange on a scan, be ready to explain what it is and sometimes even open it for inspection. The truth is, it's not about banning your snacks. It's about helping agents make quick decisions without slowing down the line. By packing food the smart way, you'll save yourself time, and you'll avoid the frustration of watching your carefully prepared lunch get tossed in the trash. Item 6. The Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Now, while homemade food rules are all about convenience and clarity, the next ban is about something far more serious, and it hasn't changed for years. I'm talking about the infamous Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Yes, believe it or not, this phone is still permanently banned from every commercial flight worldwide. Why? Because when it was released, it quickly became one of the most dangerous consumer electronics in aviation history. Its lithium batteries were so unstable that nearly 100 documented incidents of overheating, catching fire, and even exploding were reported. One Southwest flight had to be evacuated entirely because of a smoking Note 7. As a result, regulators classified the device as forbidden hazardous material. That means it doesn't matter if it's turned off, packed in a checked bag, or even sealed in your pocket. This phone is not allowed on planes, period. Trying to board with one could lead to confiscation, fines, or even being denied boarding altogether. And while most travelers don't still carry this phone, The story of the Note 7 is an important reminder. Once a device proves to be a real and repeated danger, the aviation industry doesn't hesitate to issue a permanent ban. It shows just how seriously airlines treat fire risks at altitude and why it's worth staying aware of what's considered safe, even if it was allowed just a few years ago. Item 7. Smart luggage. With non-removable batteries. Now, moving from phones to luggage, let's talk about one of the trendiest travel gadgets of the past decade. Smart suitcases. These high-tech bags come with built-in GPS, USB ports, and sometimes even motorized wheels. Sounds futuristic, right? But here's the catch. If the battery inside can't be removed, that bag is no longer welcome on most flights. Why? It comes back to the same fire risk we've been talking about. If a lithium battery is sealed inside a bag and starts overheating in the cargo hold, there's no way for the crew to intervene. That turns one piece of smart luggage into a serious hazard for an entire aircraft. The rule is simple. Removable batteries are fine. Non-removable ones are banned. So before you head to the airport, check your suitcase. If the power pack slides out easily, you can just remove it at check-in and carry it with you. But if the battery is hardwired into the frame, you may be told to leave your bag behind. A smart move is to always travel with a small, removable power bank that you can swap in and out. That way, you still get the convenience of charging on the go, without risking your suitcase being rejected at the counter. Item 8. Liquids that pretend to be solids. And while we're on the subject of confusing items, let's not forget about foods and toiletries that blur the line between liquid and solid. Peanut butter, hummus, yogurt, jam. If you can spread it, smear it, or pour it, TSA considers it a liquid, no matter how thick it looks. Travelers often get tripped up here. They think peanut butter counts as a solid snack, or that a half-full jar of hummus will be fine. But the 3-1-1 rule applies strictly. Any spreadable food must be in containers under 3.4 ounces if you want it in your carry-on. Larger portions will be confiscated, even if the jar is almost empty. So what's the workaround? Single-serve packs, peanut butter cups, small jam packets, travel-size yogurt cups, they all slide through security without a problem. Another clever hack? If you freeze these items solid before heading to the airport, they often pass inspection as long as they stay completely frozen during screening. This might sound strict, but remember, it's not about punishing travelers. It's about consistency. By applying the same rules to all spreadable foods, agents avoid confusion and keep the line moving smoothly. For you, it just means planning ahead and choosing the right size portions. Item 9. Large aerosols and sprays. As we move past food items, there's another category that sneaks its way into many travelers' bags: large aerosol cans. Think full-size hairspray, big spray deodorants, even certain household cleaning products you might pack for long trips. Here's the problem. Aerosols are pressurized, which makes them unpredictable at high altitude. If the can leaks or bursts, it doesn't just ruin your clothes, it can actually pose a safety hazard in the cabin or cargo hold. That's why airlines limit aerosol containers to 18 ounces in checked baggage and just 3.4 ounces in your carry-on. Anything bigger could be seized on the spot. But here's the good news. Not all sprays are off limits. Pump sprays, like facial mists or room fresheners, are usually fine as long as they're under the liquid limit. And most major brands now make travel-sized aerosol cans that meet the TSA's 3-1-1 rule. So the skill here is not giving up your favorite products, it's learning how to downsize. Swap the family-size can for a travel version or decant liquids into pump bottles. That way, you get the comfort of your routine without triggering alarms at security. Item 10. Oversized alcohol bottles. Finally, let's talk about something that many travelers look forward to bringing home: alcohol. Duty-free shopping is practically a tradition at airports, but here's where things get tricky. Yes, you can buy alcohol duty-free, but it comes with conditions. First, the alcohol must be under 70% ABV. Anything stronger, like certain overproof rums or grain alcohol, BAL, is banned completely. Second, bottles have to stay sealed inside a tamper-evident duty-free bag until you reach your final destination. If you have a layover and the seal is broken, there's a good chance security will confiscate it before your next flight. So how do you enjoy duty-free without the stress? The best move is to buy alcohol only on the final leg of your journey, not at your first stop. That way you avoid re-screening hassles. And if you're buying locally to bring home, always check the customs limits of your destination country, because getting through TSA is only half the story. This might sound strict, but when you think about it, the rules are there to prevent accidents in transit. And with a little foresight, you can still enjoy that celebratory bottle of wine or rare whiskey without the heartbreak of losing it at security. So there you have it. 10 everyday items that are now banned, restricted, or tightly controlled on airlines in 2025. Some of these rules might feel frustrating, even a little over the top. But when you step back, the pattern becomes clear. It all comes down to one thing: safety. Whether it's a lithium battery that could ignite, a powder that looks suspicious, or a foil-wrapped snack that blocks an X-ray, the aviation industry is laser-focused on preventing problems before they ever make it on board. But here's the important part. You don't have to see these changes as obstacles. You can see them as opportunities to travel smarter. Because the more you understand the rules, the more confident and prepared you become. You'll pack lighter, move through checkpoints faster, and avoid the stress of having your belongings taken away. And remember, travel has never really been about what you carry in your bag. It's about what you carry inside yourself, your flexibility, your awareness, your ability to adapt. That's the skill every seasoned traveler develops, and once you master it, no sudden rule change or TSA announcement can throw you off balance. So the next time you pack for a flight, don't just think about what to avoid. Think about what you're really bringing along: peace of mind, confidence, and the freedom to enjoy your journey without worry. Because in the end, the greatest upgrade you can have as a traveler isn't business class or lounge access. It's the calm assurance that you're ready for anything. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the skies.